I engage them. Before you know it, whenever they see me, they say, "Sharp, my governor, my governor." These are our children. They are the vulcanizers, the taxi driver. There are many of them. If you go there, and what have they been told? They have been told that, listen, the rest of the country hates you. They don't want you. They don't like you. And so, better find a way to take care of yourself. This is what the Bible. And Nnamdi Kanu is just as a smart young man who was able to get these people to think like he believes. I begin to shine negatively with it. I'm not in support of that. So it's something I spoke controversially last time. Nobody wants to listen. When the issue of herdsmen came up, you know, Nigerians like to talk, they like to hide. And when you are true to power, you speak out your mind, they don't like it. So last time I said, rather than even talking about herdsmen, let us address the issue of a little child, 8 years old, 10 years old, traveling 1,000 kilometers by road. That's inhumanity. That's inhuman. And most of these people that you see in Abuja, these big men that you see in Abuja, are the owners of these cows that these children train. They can't even buy them a truck to transport them. But we leave the basic issue and go for the sentiments attached with it. So for me, Nigeria will remain united. And the issue of Nnamdi Kanu will not stop the unity of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, Senator, two quick questions. I mean, yes, and we're discussing the PDP deciding to leave the playing field open for persons from different parts of Nigeria with regard to presidential ambition. In the APC also, we had another guest who was more or less saying, well, you know, the APC has not taken a decision about zoning. Do you think that the time has really come for Igbo presidency? Do you think that your aspiration is something that Nigerians will accept? What do you say about Igbo presidency?
Ruben, let me say something to you. It might not sound well with you, but let me say to you that I believe in justice. I believe in justice. And the pivot upon which all religion is established or government is established is justice. That is what is lacking. Is this justice that we are calling zoning? This justice we are calling rotation? And when you call it rotation or zoning, then democratic principles tend to fight it. Because you can't be talking about zoning in a democracy where it's a game of number. You can't be talking about rotation in a democracy where it's government of the people, by the people, and for the people, but yet not with the people. Now, the point I'm making here is that we're talking about justice. Let me ask you a question. You have a nation that is full of different tribes, not one tribe, different religions, different ethnicity, different mindsets, different belief, coming together as a people. And in this process, there was a tripod ab initio, not isofato, that this nation was built. The Yoruba tripod, the Igbo tripod, and the Hausa tripod. Now, before we now come into 6 zones and 36 states plus Abuja. Now, out of this tripod, the 2 legs of this tripod have had a test of the presidency of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they have maintained this zoning unconsciously between North and South. Then it came to the time when everybody has gotten, then the remaining 1 part of the leg, I now say it is not possible. What do you think will happen? A feeling of injustice will definitely occur. I am not a candidate for rotation, and I'm not a candidate for zoning, because I will never be president of Southeast. I'll be president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Southeast alone cannot decide who will become president of Nigeria. So we're talking about fairness. But look at, we're from South. When we come to the South, and we have brothers, the Yorubas are our next neighbor. South are our next neighbor. The Southwest have taken, the South have taken. And it's coming to the South now. And then Southwest say they want to give a shot at it. It is simply saying Southeast, you don't have anybody. So that's the feeling, and the feeling, that's the manifest truth. Trying to subsume them is a deceit. So this is why I think, but that should not be a license for Igbos to just sit down and say power is given. Power is never given, power is taken. They must go out and negotiate. Like I've declared now I want to run. I'm not running because I'm an Igbo man, I'm running because of the vision I have for this nation. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So when they say they want to leave it open, it is sent to Igbos. Listen, this is what we think about you. If not, why do we have Obasanjo and the former minister when they contested? I don't know. Sorry. Okay, I remember the name.
Olufalaye
And Atiku and Olufalaye and Obasanjo, the same person. Falaye said, and same people for election of same time. You came to them of President Buhari and Atiku, the same thing. So that's why I said let's have unity. Because if you talk about democracy now, I said you have to have a Nigeria before you talk about unity. If you don't have a democracy, you have to talk about nation before you talk about democracy. So if the nation is not considering this for whatever reason, again, I want them to give a level playground. All I ask of my parties, give us a level playground.
Okay, thank you very much, Senator Rochas Okrocha, for joining us this morning. Well, I'm being told we're going to take one more question.
Right. Oh,
Tondo.
that's a good one. I wanted to take you back to your performance as Imo State Governor, since that's one of the major things on which you'll be judged. And you want to take us through your achievements in infrastructure, for example. We've talked a lot about, youth employment, youth empowerment. We've talked about free education, but let's talk about infrastructure. And also where you stand on the issue of, does Nigeria have a debt problem or revenue problem? Because you're big on infrastructure, will you be going and borrowing once more? Are you going to take Nigeria further into debt? I want you to address those issues, please.
My sister, I think I'm sure you are acquainted with the fact that I did a lot of infrastructural development. Let me say it again and again and again, maybe posthumously again. These days I'll be speaking in this manner to drive home my point. Number one, I've built more schools in Imo State, more hospitals in Imo State, more roads in Imo State than any government in history. I introduced free education. And I left 48.3 billion naira without owing any bank. And I stand so to say any time. And yesterday at one of the interviews, I even offered to stop presidential ambition if they confirm the contrary to what I've just said. But whatever you hear from that side of the world is a gossip. And I opened up Owerri. Owerri was a village. I made it functional. I opened up Owerri. I did a lot in Owerri and that. So when you talk about borrowing, that brings me the question. Would you say Nigeria is a poor nation? Nigeria is not a poor nation. I want to say it. And the problem we have is the management of the resources of our land. We have a situation now that Nigeria has so much problem that the money available can solve. You need to create wealth. That's why I say you need a businessman. Don't you allow this time around to be deceived by anybody who has never had any business background or how to make 1 naira become 2 naira. Dubai, that's what it's called, Dubai. OPM, other people's money. You have to introduce it and make wealth for this nation. Because the problem we have is that sometimes when people come to aspire, it's not the issue of technicality, it's not the issue of grammar, it's the ability to make wealth. To make wealth. If you ask me how I made my wealth from nothing as a child of poor parentage, selling coconut and onions, I had experience. If I tell you how I made my money in Abuja here, even if I give you a business idea now, my dear sister, you resign the next week from Arise. If I tell you how to make money in Abuja now from real estate, do you know one property now that you deal with now in Abuja, you can get 500 million? I'm talking to you now. And if you want, you can see me for the business ideas. We need business idea to run this country.
Senator, you are talking to the doctor of the legendary Bashorun MKO Abiola. So, when you talk about business, he has it at the end. But in any case, 2 quick questions because we have just a few minutes to go. We have just a few minutes to go.
You want to ask me a question? I should continue or what?
No, I wanted to ask you just 2 brief.
Can I continue?
Well, if you have something to add to what you
Okay, ask me.
Okay. Now, the first one is about the
Go ahead, ask me first so I can make up.
infrastructure that you are talking about. Now, when you declare your interest in the presidency of Nigeria, some people started saying, we hope that Senator Rochas Okrocha will not erase statues all over the streets of Nigeria. Would that be part of your project? Because in Imo State, we were famous for erecting statues all over the place. So they are wondering, what kind of statues are you going to bring to the table? Secondly, what are your chances with big figures like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu having shown interest in the APC ticket, with people lobbying and saying that the best man for the job, in their own view, is the vice president and others in the game? Do you think you stand a chance? Briefly.
Very interesting question. Let me quickly tell you on the issue of the statue. If you listen to my speech yesterday, this is why Americans or other developed countries are better when it comes to politics. When anybody makes a speech, especially from the heart, go and analyze his speech. I said to you yesterday that I will honor our heroes past, the Azikiwe, the Wolowos, and the history of our founding fathers will form the first step into our tourism industry. Listen, we have not been celebrating what we have. When we go to London and we go and see Mandela statue, you see us gathering there to look at it. When it comes to Nigeria, it's nothing. But let me tell you what the status did for Imo State. Number one, what the status did when I built it, and I will explain to you, the status brought in 5 sitting presidents, who has to fly over Abuja and land in Imo, making Imo State an international airport by force. And when they came with resources and spent money there. But what is the statue? The statue became a tourist attraction. Every Christmas, thousands, tens of thousands of people go there, taking pictures, and celebrating this. But let me tell you what the status is. You saw the status without seeing the Heroes Bridge. The Heroes Bridge is a long pedestrian bridge in Imo State. Within that Heroes Bridge, you have good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The good morning, whenever I go every quarter, I take the children on tour or sightseeing. We'll start from my good morning, and I tell the students, this is your good morning. How are you making use of it? Are you being stubborn? Are you reading your books? Are you not doing what? Are you praying? Now come to your afternoon. For me, I've crossed my afternoon a bit. I don't know, Ruben, I think you are within your afternoon. So it's a yardstick to check. Within your afternoon, what are you able to do? Have you lived well up to your afternoon? Have you been able to be successful? Can you say you have justified your morning to your afternoon? Then when you pass your afternoons, some people are drinking during the afternoon time. So some people are playing. Then eventually a day must come when you must bow before the altars of God, descending when the sun must set. As the sun is setting, what can you look back and say you have done for humanity? What can you be remembered for? What can you say you have impacted society? When it's just a waste from morning till evening, as you descend, if you have come up gloriously as you are descending, like people like Zuma and the rest of them, and Serif Johnson, whose status is there, Ojukwu, Azikiwe, Awolowo, those leaders, then the children want to learn. How do these people start from morning to their evening? And if you succeed, it will give you a statue, beautiful one. And how is the statue built? By students of IMSU and IMSU, who can just get mortars and bring iron rods and paint it and make it a human-looking thing with the history of the person. As you drive into, you go to the Hall of Fame where you are celebrated. And so the children go there for excursion, to go for their studies, to see who is their role model. It's a great project. But when they say you build statue from, I laugh. Just like when I did Ministry for Happiness, they laughed at it, not knowing that England, I was teaching Italy and England to establish Ministry for Loneliness when their people were committing suicide. Why must you control with only Ministry of Works, Finance, Health? Is the world not moving? If I tell some of the new ministries I will create now, you'll also be surprised to move this nation forward. So that is the answer for that.
Ministry of Bachelors.
What you have met is the issue of those in contest. I have respect for Asiwaju. Asiwaju, as far as I'm concerned, is my leader. Vice President Osinbajo is a family, is a brother, is a family. I love him so much. I have nothing absolutely against him. Nothing. And what I'm saying now is, if it is in terms of capacity to move this country, not in arithmetical progression, but in a geometrical progression of development, then count Rochas, I'll do it. What is priding me? I'm not proud. See, as I said now, I don't have the best of structure in my party. Neither do I have. Aswaju has that much better than me. My brother and my friend, the family, Osinbajo has that. But you see what's driving me crazy is what I have here. Nigeria needs to utilize it while it lasts. I'm talking about vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Rochas Okrocha, for joining us on the program this morning. We'll take a short break now. And when we return, we'll be talking to Senator Ita Ena